All right, let's see if that works this time. Okay, this says it's going. I am live. All right, I think we get everything the way it should be set up. So hopefully we'll get some people that can jump in and tell me if the microphone's working properly, and then we'll start piecing some stuff together. So first, all right, I think everything is almost set. I got 2 computers going. And let's go here. And, okay, let's check YouTube, make sure everything's working. Hello, Jonathan. You're the first one in. Okay, so video looks good, audio sounds okay. I couldn't get the audio to work from my DSLR. That's a known issue though. But I have 2 other microphones, and I wasn't sure which was better, the one on the webcam or the one on my laptop. And I think the webcam is a bit better one. All right, so let's go ahead and real quickly and let's check the other cameras here with OBS. Let's see, we've got the laptop view working. External camera, good. I got my that's working, and of course back to my main camera. Very good. Looks like the delay is about 20 seconds. Audio is okay, cool. We'll get building here in just a moment. And what I'm going to do real quick here is post these links real quick. And there. So that should be working. And then, it's hard to get this going without the cameras up and running. So we'll do 2 more pastes real quick. Okay, everything is showing in the green, so that's fantastic. All right, then I can start working on this stuff. All right, I am just posting links to the video stream so that if anyone else wants to join, it is there. Let's see. Stay on page. I got to get away from Chrome. This is a pretty beefy laptop, and Chrome just brings it to its knees lately. All right. And I think that's the last. And I put that there. There. Then I should be done with that part. Cool. And now I got all that going, I can get comfortable. Let's see, we have 3 watching. Hello, guys. The basement isn't too chilly this time of year. So let's see. Let me put the proper mouse here. All right, so let's go to the instructions. And a couple days ago, I started to do this, and the kit I got was an early release. It has since been upgraded with different Z-screws. So that required the printing of 2 new pieces, which John Folger was kind enough to provide to me. And let's see. So I have all these pieces already checked off. Good. So these are the, and let me go back to another camera here. So these are the pieces that I had to print, and as you can see, I already have the bearings inside there, so I kind of cheated a little bit here. So here's kind of the funny story behind this. The ones that he includes are out of ABS, and due to the changes in the Z-screw that is being used now, we had to make these new ones. So what I did is he gave me the STLs, and I printed them in Matter Forge black PLA, and they came out really, really great. But the problem was that the bearings, when you would place them in there, they would slide right through. They were just popping out the other side. So one of the thoughts was, well, maybe the infill wasn't high enough. I did 20% by default. He had mentioned he did 30% or higher. So I thought, well, maybe that's it. So these guys are out. Again, I just happen to have Polyalchemy PLA, the Polyalchemy Elixir rather, which is really good stuff. And so I did another one with a bit higher infill. And these guys, I mean, just so shiny. They came out really nice. And the pieces, the bearings when they went in, they were a little bit better. But the problem was that they were sliding around inside of here. So I didn't quite have that snugness I was looking for. And I couldn't figure out what the heck the problem could be. And then it dawned on me that the shrinkage on ABS is more than PLA. So it appears that, you know, unless I upsized the model, you know, or increased it a little bit, or played with the model a whole bunch, I was going to run into an issue where these PLA slider blocks weren't going to work out. So I happen to have polycarbonate, which is, you know, PC. This is the Ultimaker brand, and I know this stuff, it's high temperature stuff. It prints really nicely. And I just thought, well, I know this stuff is a, you know, what I'll do is I'll do the settings that he recommends, the higher infill. But I know this stuff has a, is going to shrink more than PLA does. And it turns out these guys are in there super snug. I don't have any ABS. I thought about ordering some. I'm not a fan of ABS. It just, the stuff stinks. You know, you need to have a printer that's all enclosed, and I'm sure back here the Ultimaker could have done it. I mean, I could have taped up the front, and it probably would have worked just fine. But I wanted to see what I had on hand that would work, and it looks like these guys are going to work. So I've gone ahead and cheated, and actually I tried this live stream a couple days ago, and we got as far as step one going, well, the bearings aren't going to stay, so we're kind of screwed. So let me go back over here. There we go. Now you can see me. I have the LED lights directly above me, so it looks a little washed out. Someone thought maybe God was calling me home because of the way that white light looked like. You know, no, don't take me yet. So that's not the case. So I just felt like I should explain what's going on over here. It's not an episode of Highway to Heaven. All right, so we have all the information, and what I can do here is share on the screen. So this is what we've already done so far. And I also have a big pile of tools, and I have to get some of these guys unraveled. All right, so we have that part done. I need to move this laptop a little bit. All right, so there is that, and then let's go to our next page. Is there anything I need to attach besides that? Nope, those guys are done. Good. All right, so now, we're looking at, let's see, so this one is like so. So let's go to our external camera, and actually let me move the external camera so you can actually see what's going on. There we go. I'm hoping the focus will eventually, here we go, behave. There we go. All right, so this is the one we're working on according to the model, and let me pop open this. I thought I had placed these in good spots. All right, M3 times 18, so where is our 18s? Well, I got 16s and 18. Here we go. All right, so I only need one, it looks like. And I got tons and tons and tons of screws, so let's make sure I got the right one. Yep, that's the right one. All right, and then I need 2 washers. So it looks like we're going to be kind of MacGyvering this idler business. Okay, 2 and 3 washers and 2 these guys. All right. So let's make sure I have everything looking just like that. All right, so we got these guys going together like this. Where's my clearance like in here? Okay, good. So the fun part's going to be getting all of these guys to line up. Let me look at my chat real quick in case I missed anything. Jonathan says, yeah, the Polyalchemy Elixir brand is really, really impressive stuff. Okay. Damn you. Okay, well, I guess the first thing I'm noticing is that the hole should be bored out just a little bit. All right. M3. This is not an M3. That's way too fat. All right, so I'm just pre-checking these to make sure everything's going to fit. It looks like it's going to. And now it's just the fun dance of getting everything to go at once. This is where you find out how good your dexterity really is. All right. And in my case, I'm not crazy about these pieces that you kind of stack up. Okay, so I'm using this to just kind of hopefully line everything up. All right. All right. You bugger. All right. It is in there. And if I haven't said it already, first of all, happy pre-Thanksgiving. If you guys are on the road traveling, if you guys are stuck at an airport and I'm your entertainment, man, I feel sorry for you. No, seriously, glad you're here. I've been wanting to do this for a while. And if you guys haven't traveled yet, I hope everything's all right. I am up here in Maine. So we're expecting, as you may have heard in the news, we're hyperventilating about, oh my God, it's winter, it's going to be cold. All right, so that's in there. But I think we're going to survive. Let's see, looking at chat. Jonathan asked, what did I print this on? I printed this on the Ultimaker 2, which is hands down my favorite printer. Would you like a link for that printer? Sure, I'll be happy to give you a link. Hang on one second here. Let me pull it up for you. And I had it in one of these tabs here. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. All right, here it is, and I will share that in the chat in just a moment. I do not understand why my laptop is being an utter dog tonight. Okay, the link for this is right here. Yeah, a lot of people groan when I talk about my Ultimaker because they're like, Paul, it's a $2,500 printer. I can't afford one like that, blah, blah, blah. I got this. This is a refurb. This is something I got from Fabricate. They take, sometimes apparently they acquire old Ultimakers. I guess sometimes organizations that had Ultimaker 2s look to sell what they have for Ultimaker 3s and 5s. So I was able to get this Ultimaker 2 for $1,200. I bought the upgrade kit for $400. So for not a lot of money, I got myself a $2,500 printer for a whole lot less. So if you've been wondering about Ultimakers, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about them outside of the price. High-end stuff, Cura is built for it, and it does a really good job. The other nice thing is this is the Ultimaker brand polycarbonate. So like I said, when I went into Cura, I selected Ultimaker polycarbonate. I used their settings, and it just worked. So it's, I guess that's lazy, but it's really slick when you can just pop in a filament, pop in someone else's settings, and it all works. Hello, Don. I don't know if they celebrate Thanksgiving in Germany. Probably not, but this is our evening before Thanksgiving. This is generally a very high traffic day for the Americas. So we're hoping there's a lot of people hanging out saying hello. And let me do the shameless plug by saying, if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, please become one. I'd love to have you. I post a lot of content, and it's not controversial. I try to keep it fun, light, and easy. So if you're not already a subscriber, please think about becoming one. I also have Patreon, patreon.com, where nerdy is cool. So if you want to help me out there, feel free. If the membership levels are pretty low, so I'm not begging. So anyway, here we go. Let me make sure I'm looking in the chat real quick. And yeah, great. Wow, we got 10 people. This is fantastic. Hey, I'm a small channel. I'm going to take what I can get. Let us know where you're from, guys. As I mentioned, I am from Maine. And while you guys are introducing, I'm going to look and see what our next step is here. Let's see how scary it gets from here. Holy crap, I'm going to be up all night doing this. No. All right. So now, as I make a pile of noise over here. All right, so I need to get these T8 nuts off the threaded rods. All right, very good. Dun, dun, dun. Texas, Edinburgh, Scotland. Holy crap, Texas. To the gentleman in Scotland, that's a fascinating part of the world. I would love to go there. My parents have been there. And I would like to go to the UK in general because I like going to the old castles and all the ghost stories and stuff like that. I know Dawn is out in Germany. I don't know what part of Germany you're on. Are you in the former West or former East? I'd be curious to know. Okay, so I need to get a bunch of these guys. Okay, 1, 2. All right. I hope I'm not missing any hardware. That would really suck. All right, what size are we looking for? So we're only using 6 of them. Okay, well, that takes care of my panic because I was only finding 6 and I'm seeing 4 holes. So I was like, ah. Okay, but that makes sense. So let me go back to our external view. All right, so we're getting to the point where we're going to be putting these guys in. And there we go. Oh, from Netherlands? Well, geez, German. You know, you are in Ultimaker territory, Don. That's where the fine folks from Ultimaker are all from. And all right, so I'm trying to get everything laid out here so I can be a good host and have my act together and talk, but I will confess I am French, so doing two things at once is a challenge. And I'm French, I can say that. All right, so I got 6 and 6, very good. And there was another thing I wanted to, I got too many things on the desk here. Wow, Phoenix. That's a nice place. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I am hoping the, do I have the camera in the right angle? Yeah, I do. Guys, give a shout if the camera's not focusing, or if you can't hear me, or if you can hear me and you don't want to hear me. There we go. Okay, this is looking all right so far. All right, so then the fun part is going to be putting the nuts on all these. The other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to give a shameless plug. Hey, Fusion makes everything. I don't know if you guys are aware that I have a web forum. If you guys are into web forums for discussing 3D printing, I'm going to post a link right here. If you haven't been there before, check it out. I've had that forum going for, geez, I think about 3 years now. It started off as a, we had a lot of guys from the Ultimaker forums, and their forum software was really, really terrible back in the day. So Anders Olsen told me, he suggested, you know, he's the one that makes the Ruby nozzle. He was like, you know, you ought to offer a forum for us to all chat on. So I said, sure. And next thing I know, it became much busier than I expected. Ultimaker wasn't pleased because, of course, they want their website to be the star location for all support. But the web forum software they had back in the day was just terrible. So anyway, that is my web forum. Got a couple hundred members over there, and would love to have more people. All right, here we go. So what's going on right now, and the clearances to put these nuts in is a little bit tight. You know, I'm a little disappointed, guys. There's usually someone out there that makes all kinds of funny little innuendo comments. So kudos to you guys for taking the high road. Most of my friends would have been making all kinds of inappropriate comments by now. I really wish I had a smaller wrench, but I don't know what I did with them. Okay, well, the good news is these are all going in without much hassle. Oops. There is always one. Let's see if I can get a grip on you like this. All right, so just doing a quick double check. Good. I'm a family-friendly person. That's great. All right. If you guys are just joining, welcome. We are putting together a FolgerTech FT-i3 Mega. Basically, this is going to look exactly like a CR10, that kind of design. And what's interesting about this is we're all used to the TiVo Tornadoes. We're used to the CR10s and those kind of printers. But with this one, the motors aren't going to be on the bottom. They're going to be on the top. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. It's an interesting design, and looking forward to see how it all pans out. All right, so one down, one to go. Come on. Waiting for the web camera to kind of join us in the world of focus here. And to those who are wondering, Paul, how many printers do you have now? This one makes number 7. But Paul, why do you have 7 printers? Because I cannot afford 8. Ha ha ha. Different printers for different roles. I'm hoping this will help out in my BB-8 build. I definitely am way far behind on my BB-8 build. I just did some work to my CR10S. You may have seen that live stream recently. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Boy, you guys are a quiet bunch. Come on, say something. And don't ask for my address. I know that live streams are notorious for people somehow managing to send pizza. I already ate, thank you. All right, and then, see what's tough is the, let's see if I can get this here. The one that's furthest in, only because it's near the curvature here, makes it a little tough. Boy, this camera is really being, here we go. Thank you, focus. James is my friend. James works for the airlines, and I'm amazed you are not busy at work today. Out there on the flight line, helping with luggage. All right, well, one thing I'm noticing, not that it's going to matter to anything, is that one of these screws must have been, they must have sent a 20 instead of an 18, or I got it in there wrong. I don't know. But it is a little bit bigger than the rest. So I'm going to do a quick scan and see if any of these look like they don't belong. I'll go ahead and sign right in. The anti-spam stuff is not a whole lot of fun. The magic question will ask you what number is in 3D printer. 3. So. All right, well, I don't think that's going to hurt anything being 20 millimeter instead of 18, but it's just odd that I don't have one. Dun, dun, dun. Where is my little No, they're not all labeled. You know better. Okay, I am going to do a quick... One of the things I have here is I have a guide, and it has measurements real quick. So what I can do is I can drop these guys in, And I'm pretty sure I did this correctly. Yeah, that's 20. My worry is I don't want to come up short a 20 later in the build. So real quickly, we'll go through this. Now my friend James, he just did a, he's been doing some upgrades. You have 2 FT-5s as I recall. And you were doing some design work on an interesting idea you had. I hope I don't blow the secrecy, but you had a really good idea about making an enclosure that would actually fit 2 FT-5s and a cover and a way to duct the fumes and stuff like that. All right, just gonna spend another few moments running these through here. Yeah, these are all 20s. I was just shorted an 18. I'm not gonna sweat it because I know I have in my junk drawer all kinds of 18s and 20s. And then we can move on to the next step. Fusion, what's going on with your CR10? You got a couple of people here you can commiserate with. I was having problems with my hot end. I had PETG and I had a partial clog and I just couldn't get it cleared out. So I said, the hell with it. I had the parts. I'm going to go ahead and put the micro Swiss in, and it's done a really good job. All right, so for those of us scoring from home, we have achieved this step. Awesome sauce. Uh-oh, now we're dealing with electronics. It's going to get really complicated. See, I have you guys for moral support. All right, so we see in the step it says mount the stepper to the X end using 3 M3 18mm bolts. All right, and I need to get one of the pulleys out. Dun, dun, dun. Where in my stack of stuff is all the pulleys? Slider, slider, slider. I can plug in motors. I can do it. All right. Well, I got to go to the box and find the hardware I'm looking for. Okay, no, those are the old ones. I'm not going to use those. That goes in a stack of stuff. Okay, well, I see belts. Where I see belts, there should be pulleys. All right, so I need one of those guys. Got it. All right, it's not what I'm looking for. Good. I was just thinking, where's my set screws? All right. BBA hasn't gone very far because I've been doing a bunch of work to the printers. Here we go. All right. And I just mentioned that I don't have a whole lot of M3 by 18s. And Well, there's another bag of stuff here. What? Am I getting thumb downs? This is an outrage. Alright, one. Alright, I got a bunch of hardware in this bag that... Well. Smash the button. Yeah, and if you guys aren't subscribers already, come on. Get on that. Alright. Alright, so this is an 18. So what I'm having happen here is I'm missing hardware again. I got all kinds of 20mm screws, but not a whole bunch of these 18s that this is calling for. Yeah. Man, this is getting to be a challenging build. I keep on missing hardware. Set screws. Alright, so real quickly, I got another bag of stuff here that I'm not entirely sure what it goes to, but we'll get to that in the directions. So what I'm doing real quick here is, since I discovered this extra bag of hardware, and there's always extra stuff. So this looks like it's a 22. I will leave these guys in the bag. So the directions are calling for, and let me show that screen again here. So they are saying over here that I need to take my M3 by 18mm and attach them to the stepper motor. Well, that's fantastic, but they only gave me 6 M3 18s, and they are currently inside that motor. Let me look back, unless I... No, this said it's 18, because I have a bunch of 16s. So that's a little frustrating, so I'm short some hardware. Alright, so let's put these guys in the tub. Alright, so what I'm doing, I'm just checking what these guys are here. They're 16. So we'll put them where they belong. Yeah, 16. Okay, and this one's a 20. All right. Oh, did you? Cool. Thank you. Dun, dun, dun. Yay, I got $1. Thank you. I have my phone turned off so I don't get my alerts. Very cool. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so here's what's going on. So what we got to do is this guy and this guy have to go in. Oh, wow. It all lines right up. How nice is that? Now, they're calling for 18mm screws. I just want to see what happens if I decide to go with these 20s. Because I really don't want to pause my video because I'm missing hardware or I don't have the right part or something. So let's see how far a 20 will go in here. Let's try one more. Because if it really wants 18, then we need to use 18. And let me give you the right view here. All right. Okay, I think 20 is going to work. All right, and then what I want to do, I want to make sure it's just like the picture. Good. You know, I almost mentioned it. I almost let me go to the big view. I almost asked you guys, but yes, I have been doing No Shave November. One of my peers taunted me into doing it, and because usually by this time I've already shaved, and I can't say this is something I'm truly enjoying, but I thought I would try. I only have what, another week to go, so yeah, it's I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. All right, so all right, back to work here real quick. So this is in, and we wound up using the 20mm screws instead of the 18 because they didn't give me any. So I need to make a note somewhere, that a little note for the guys at FolgerTech that, hey, you might want to double check that hardware count when you guys are setting these out here, because your instructions call for something that you're not including. So this is in, and then, okay, mount the stepper in the X using M3. Make sure the plug on the stepper is facing upward. Yep, done that. Install the 22 pulley backward onto the stepper shaft. And align it with the slot on the X. So what we're doing here is we want to, come on camera, focus. Thank you. Maybe? Okay. So we're looking to get that to focus, and let's see. So we want it to align with that, and as you recall from the printed piece, there's a little bit of a lip there. And is there a flat spot on this thing? There is. Let me move you that way. All right, so what size are you? Really? Okay, so in another fun thing, there is no set screw inside this guy that I can see, unless I have the wrong size wrench. Yeah, what a relief. I'll cheat. I'll grab the tools off the CR10. Alrighty. The beer, well, it is deer season over here for sure. No, I need a smaller one of that. All right, so what we're doing is we need to get a very small Allen wrench for that. Did they include it? I do not see where they included it. Nope. Hello, Willies. Oh, did I get the right one? I hear squeaking. Good. There it is. All right, so we have a gap we have to accommodate for, so let's get a very small washer. I got a servo horn here that's pretty much the same size. All right, so what I'm doing, I got that little servo horn here, and it's about the same size as that offset here. And where's my flat side? Right there. And that looks like it's going to be just right. Maybe a tad lower. All right, let's see how that looks. I think that looks good. So as you can see, we want the this hole in the back. We want that to be flush with those teeth. And as you can see, I have PETG strings in there. Fun. Wouldn't it be cool if they used all one size Allen wrench? All right, my desk is a mess. I got belts flopping around over here. I got some mystery pieces that I still don't know what they're going to go to, but that's cool. All right, and somewhere here I have a mouse that shows my view. Hello, guys. Let me scroll through the chat real quick in case I have missed anything. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Wisecracks about beards. I like it. Fusion. Have a happy Thanksgiving. All right, and then let's go back to our instructions. All right, so we have survived another step. Didn't quite have the right hardware, but we made it work. Oh, I was not looking forward to this. We are going to have to deal with the wonderful world of zip ties. This kit has a tremendous amount of zip ties. So 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, so let's get our... All right, so we got this guy. Now, I remember looking at the instructions for the assembly of the Prusa, and I saw all those twist ties and just thought, oh man, I just not sure how I feel about that. 3:30 a.m. Wow. All right, so it looks like... Well, that's interesting. Are you supposed to, like, pop in here? Well, let's get these guys all situated first. All right. West End, how are you? It was nice chatting with you and Ben and the others the other night. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to jump over the instructions here real quick to show you where we're at. And I'm sorry that my tag here covers up part of that. So push the LM8 you use into the X carriage and cable tie into place. Make sure they fully seat fully into the X carriage, as they are normally a very tight fit to avoid having play. All right, so just so I'm not making a huge mess here, I'm going to go ahead and pop some of these guys out, and let's see. Son of a... Press them in, he says. I don't want to crack my table here, but there we go. Okay, well, hey. I guess those many months of weightlifting with the gym trainer are paying off. Okay, or better yet, I guess I can just... didn't quite see the way I wanted it. Get a hammer. Well, I don't really want to bash the bearings, you know. I'm just trying to... I was able to press one in, you know, so, you know, I was able to do it with my muscles. Like this one popped right in. Let me guess, I got a bearing that's out of spec. Just for poops and grins, let's see how the other one does. Oh, there it goes. All right, we did it. Now we have to play the wonderful world of twist ties. 2, 4, 6 twist ties. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So here we go with that. So I want these guys to, just like the illustration here, want those to end at the top. Well, okay. Got it. It's interesting the way these route around. So, interesting. And then he attempts to get these guys to wrap close to the seam. Got it. Hey Caleb, how you doing? The kit, if you purchase the kit, it will come with the 3D printed parts. The kit I got was a early pre-release, and then there was a change to the Z screw, a different pitch. So he sent me the drawings, the STL files to print, and the only problem I had was the ones that he offers are made in ABS, and the ones I printed in PLA were too loose. And I think the way it works out, Caleb, is that what's going on is that the shrinkage of PLA is much less than ABS. So I might explain why mine, the ones that I first printed, they were sliding out. All right, I'm going to give these guys a pretty hearty tug. Okay. All right, so the first two are in, and let's snip those guys. Not too close, but close enough. All right. I may regret that. They are really short. All right. 2 down, 4 to go. And again, I'm just going to run like a little top of the hour promo here. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please consider becoming one. I don't want you to miss any of my cool videos. I'm starting to enjoy doing live streams now that I have the right software and hardware to do it. I am also on Patreon, so if you are into supporting channels like mine through Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/where nerdy is cool. I also have a web forum. If you guys are into going to the web forums and talking 3D printing, I will post a link right here. A lot of fun topics over there. Would love to have you guys become part of the group. There we go. All right. Well, I'm impressed that these guys popped in a lot easier than I expected. when I was reading the directions a few weeks ago, I was going, oh, I'm not sure what I think about that. Here we go. I don't know too many people that have one of these. I know my friend, I think it's Jasmine, got one together, and it's had a few little quirks, but seems to be happy with it. Okay, this time I left those a little bit taller just in case I need to get back in there and give those a tug. I'm sorry, the focus is being so wonky. There we go. All right, and then same story with this bottom one. Don't know if you guys saw my latest video. I did my early impression on the G-Tech A10, which I have not had a good time with. I know printers, you know, have issues when they come out of the box sometimes, but this one has a lot of issues. And on the G-Tech Facebook page, I've noticed a lot of people have had a pretty responsive answers from customer service about issues, but I seem to be the exception to that rule. And as always, as fanboys, there's a few people there that if you have a problem, it must be you. It's all you. There's no problem here. G-Tech is wonderful, and you know there's those kind of people at any here we go online forum. It's easier to flame than provide help. All right, I got 2 good tugs out of that one. All right. And just in case I gotta come back to this, we'll leave a little bit left. All right, and there we go. Another part done. Trash can. And let me check the chat in case anyone's talking. No, you guys are being kind of quiet. I was waiting around this evening for my brother. He's 2 hours south of me. I was at my parents' place, and I decided after a couple hours of waiting, like, you know, it's bad weather driving anyway, so no fault there. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back home and go work on that printer. I'll see him tomorrow anyway. All right, so we have completed this step. Okay, now the exciting part here. So now we got to crack open this package here that has the chrome rods. Dun, dun, dun. All right, there you go. I have a razor blade here somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it, so these guys will work just fine, thank you. All right. Ta-da. And then on the outside, these are the old Z screws from the original kit. We will not be using those, but obviously we don't want to throw them away, so we'll add them to the stack of stuff. The dreaded bottom drawer. All right. What's cool here is that you got them wrapped up in Captain tape, so doesn't leave any residue. All right. So we got 2 of these. We'll put the rest of these guys over here. All right. So the big goal here is to slide 8mm PCRs we only use on the X carriage. We don't want to pop out. Okay, well, good news. Okay, that's in. This one's way smoother, this being one. Okay, well, you know, some lubrication might fix that. I know, I said lubrication, haha, funny. Let me just check something real quick here at my live chat. Let me do a quick reload of that screen. Here we go. All right. Well, that was an easy step. All right. Well, on to the next. Oh, boy. This is where it starts to look like a printer. All right. Slide X ends into the 8mm and make sure all the parts are oriented as shown in the image above. All right, so let's get the external cam. All right, so I don't know how far that's supposed to go in, but oops. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe a little love tap here. All right, well, I would say that guy's in. And then on this side, all right, we're going to do the same story. Oh, come back. Come back a half turn. All right. All right, so we're just kind of this side's in. I'm kind of glad I use the transparent stuff so I can kind of see what's going on here. Do I bang you on the table? Maybe? All right, well, I'm pretty sure you're in. The only concern I have, well, let me tap this a little bit. I don't want to go crazy on it, but if it get a bigger, yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just trying to make sure. Let me do this on the edge of the table here. See, I don't really have a way of. My concern would be, is one side in more than the other? It's hard to really tell. You see, I mean, this is moving pretty well. So I think if it was warped or whatever, we would see that right off. But this is going to be a pretty good size. All right. So with Caleb's advice, we gave it a few love taps, and my concern is I just want to make sure that this is straight. I thought I had one side that was not as far as the other, but we've given it a couple love taps, and it looks okay. Okay. Well, I think the magic word here is it's snug. It's just I keep looking at this and I'm wondering if this side is a little pointed inward versus the top. But we'll get to the next step and love tap accordingly. All right, so let's get on to the next step here. All right, and then we get to mount the giant ass. Wait till you guys see the size of this thing. It's crazy huge. All right. So we are going to this thing is huge. All right, so they already have them loosened up here. So we're going to take out those. Okay, remove the top 2 screws in the back of the stepper on the pre-assembled extruder. Well, I got the wrong size. How about that? Good third size. All right, we'll go back to my view here in just a moment here. Let's see. So remove the top 2 screws from the back of the stepper of the pre-assembled extruder assembly and attach it to the X carriage using 2 M3x45. Okay, I think he included, I think these are 45s that he sent me. In fact, I can double check that. Yep. All right, and all right, so let me go back to the, look at the size of this thing. I mean, this thing is just huge. All right, so he's saying boy, is that all held in just with 2 screws? That's what it looks like. All right, here's a quick double check here that these are 45s. Yep. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing here is on the back. So those are going to be okay, good. So now we need to go in from the back here. I'd like to start these anyway. Sure, you guys just kind of, there we go. Well, that's good, it's snug. All right, so this monster extruder head is gonna, there we go. It's gonna go in the back of this. And let's get you started a little bit more. Feels like it's threading. Yes, no. All right. Oh. Maybe if I just put it like that and just go for it. Get a better idea. Let me get one working. There we go. That one's working. Boy, this thing is just freaking huge, though. Keep going. Boy, I wish I had that power screwdriver. That'd be really handy right now. So my mind is thinking ahead to things that I probably shouldn't be thinking of, but I'm looking at how this thing mounts this print head, and it's just like, boy, I'm thinking like Titan Aero or something, but that would require taking all this apart again. But let's see how stock works. All right, very good. Now let's take this SOB out. Okay, looks to be lining up pretty good. Okay, there we go. It was fighting me on threading, but it's good now. And away we go. All right, well, I haven't heard anybody on the chat here. Let me look at the screen real quick. According to this, I got 5 of you guys watching here or observing. If any of you guys are sitting at an airport waiting for an airplane or sitting in the back of a bus or a car, I am so sorry. It's 'tis that season, right? Travel, travel, travel. I am putting together a FolgerTech FT-i3 Mega. This is going to look very similar to a CR10, the exception being that the Z motor is going to be up high versus on the CR10 and T-Or Tornado, they're they're down low at the bottom. So interesting design. We'll get to see how well that works. Not sure how far I'm going to go into this tonight. I figure I'll spend probably another hour here. Goodness. I am twisting and spinning. I can hear it chirping, so I know it's going in. If you're not already a subscriber on my channel, please go ahead and tag that button. I would love to have you as a regular viewer. If you haven't already said hello on the chat, please do. Are you wearing earphones? If I say hi to your wife, will she appreciate that? Just eating dinner, wow. I'm sure you mentioned earlier, but where are you, Caleb? I am up here in Maine, so it's, what, 9:54 p.m. I've been surprised how many people actually watch YouTube on their big screen TVs as their actual evening entertainment, you know. I heard from 1 or 2 people that said, hey, we actually catch your videos and watch them on the big screen and like them. I was like, cool. $8.54. That's kind of a late dinner. Okay, so this is on good and tight. And holy hell, that is heavy. But it moves. Let me let's look at the size of that print head, though. I mean, that is just huge. See, the what gets me is the top. I mean, you got the fan there for the hot end. And you get the his little extruder here. Wow. So this gives you an idea of the scale of the printer. But so we got our 12-volt fan, we got our hot end wiring, we got our thermistor for the temp sense. All right, let's see what the next step brings us. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so let's read through this. Slide the 8mm PCRs through the LMUs. Okay, so my vertical rods now. Okay, then thread the T8 lead screws into the T8 nuts, and then set this aside for later. All right, that's fine. That's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I knew someone was going to say it, so I wanted to be the one to say it. All right, so let me go to the bigger camera here. All right, so son of a gun, that's big. All right. First one is in. All right, and then okay. My first thoughts is that when I first pushed these in, it's like, ah, man, these sound a little rough. But again, they've just been sitting and packing for a while here, and of course my hands are all full of grease now. So once I put some light oil on here, like sewing machine oil or something like that, they should recover nicely. All right, and here's our Z screws. And let's change our camera view for that. All right. All right, and then thread the T8 screws into the T8 nuts, it says. All right, so I'm not sure how far I want to thread this. I guess I'll call that good right there. Let's flip around to the other side here without killing any of these cameras. All right, same story here. Actually, I'm going to drop that down and use both hands to work this through. All right, well, I'll admit, guys, when I was first reading about how this all goes together, I was like, I'm not sure. All right, so let me go back here. All right, so this gives you an idea of the size. Boy, I keep looking at the size of that print head. I mean, it's huge. I mean, that comes out about 3-4 inches. So, all right, so it says the instructions to put this aside because we're going to be dealing with starting to put the frame together. All right, get the cover out of the way. Oh, yeah, don't fall. All right, and then here we go with the fun stuff. Okay. The FM2s. Sounds like a gang, huh? Don't mess with the FM2s. All right. All right, so these are the FM2s, and we're taking 2 30-30 beams. All right. All right, let me just make sure I got that set up correctly, and da-da-da. All right, so we are using M5 by 10. Oops. All right. So the instructions say that they're going to have to be 82 millimeters apart. So we will use our caliper to get a precise measurement on that. But first, let's go ahead and start these T-nuts a little bit. All right, and I'm being joined by Theodore. What are you doing, Theo? My soon-to-be 1-year-old cat was turned into a beast. Yes. Hoorah! Ah, this guy is huge. All right, he's only going to be around for a second, so yo, what's up? So to our studio audience, yes, we do give deference to our cats every now and then, because frankly, I just stay here; they live here. So what are you doing, buddy? You stink. All right, you. Can I go back to building? No? All right. Well, that was a nice short little break. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing mounted up, mess with T-nuts. You know what? I just threw away all those twist ties I had. Here you go. Be free. Sometimes you got to stop and play with the pets. All right, so let's make sure. Here's where the fun begins with this thing. Let's go to our lining all these up so you can get it inside that groove. Oh my goodness, it went in. Let's see. So that's phase one. Now let's get this guy somewhat jostle into position. Caliper. Zero you out. And let's see, 82 millimeters was the spot, huh? Okay. Well, let's do that. Okay, we got 82 millimeters on there. And I should probably, you know what, would be another good idea? Now that I got you holding this up a little bit. Find me another flat surface. Well, I'm glad the cat has a fan. He was a rescue. He was cat number 3. He was the, I don't need any more cats. Don't show me the cat. Oh my God, he's so cute. Okay. Now that we got one in there, let's tighten up the rest. Yeah, that cat, that was his name Theodore. I initially had 3. Not a cat guy, but I used to volunteer to Humane Society, and you know, you volunteer to Humane Society, you see what happens to him. Used to be a kill shelter, so they would, I would go in and help out, and then I would notice on the way out there was a big long line of cat carriers, and well, that's where they were doing the injections, and the little guys would go to the Rainbow Bridge, and hated that. But anyway, long story short, one cat died when he was 16. The other one, he was so upset about the first one going. He died 3 months later. He was 15. So that left me with one cat. And that one cat is named Mama Cat, and she is very spoiled. And when the other 2 passed away, I thought, well, she's got to be loving this. I mean, God, the other cats were probably pissing her off, and she has the whole place all to herself. But my neighbor, of all things, I have a little old lady that lives across the street from me, and I look out for her. And she stopped me at the mailbox one day, and she's like, Paul, I noticed when you leave for work, your cat's in the window. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of what cats do. And she goes, do you notice when you come home she's in the window? I said, yeah, she's there waiting for me. You know, she must run around all day or something. She's like, no, she's in the window so all day waiting for you. Like, oh, man. Felt awful about that. So my friends put me in touch with a lady that is an ambassador, a foster. The kittens that are way too young to be adopted out, she brings them to her home and fosters them. And my friends introduced me to her and her family and said, Paul needs a cat, and he's very fond of tuxedo cats, and let him know. And it wasn't too long after, she sent me a message saying, hey, I got this beautiful tuxedo cat. You got to come see her. And I was like, no. I really don't need one. My friends mean well, but no, just come meet her. Brought her home. All right. So back on topic here. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to give this. Let's see. If I was good, I still had the caliper. Here we go. So that's my sad little cat story. On my Facebook, my friends pick on me, but I'm one of those people that I really get tired of the political posts. I got my points of view, but I have yet to see anyone change their mind from a Facebook post. You know, I've never seen someone say, you know what, since I saw that post, you're completely right. I completely agree with everything you say, and I'm going to be a diehard Democrat now, or Republican, or whatever you are. What I'm trying to do here, and I'm doing a very poor job at it, is I'm trying to make sure that I have the proper gap. And I'm trying to cheat a little by using what this one has. And because I'm a big dumb animal, I misplaced my tools. Dun, dun, dun. Nope. See, this is what happens. I start talking about cats and I lose my tools. Okay, good. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that these guys are even Steven here. These are ACM. Some of what you're seeing here falling out is some of the plastic, but what you can, from the angle here, you can see the aluminum on each side sandwiched by the plastic. This is a material that's real popular at sign making. Okay, so I've only tightened one screw up, so if my thing turned off. No, it doesn't matter. All right, so with any luck, it's going to be just right, and I'll be happy with the world. And it looks good. I wish I had. Well, you know what? There. Those look spot on to me. Because the important thing is, what I'm doing is I'm looking at how these guys are side by side, and they look really, really good. Oh, let me check the messages here. 3 a.m. Slicer John, you're up late. Yeah, ACM, aluminum composite material, ACM. My friend is a sign maker, and he's heard of this stuff, and he was surprised he's using 3D printing, especially for stuff like, level beds and stuff like that. But it's very popular. It's strong because you have the aluminum and it's sandwiched in with the plastic, so that works quite well. Let me put it back here so I don't complain that I've lost my tools again. All right, so 2 of these. Yeah, they look dead even to me. Good. And some of these. I get some extra stuff here. Clean off the desk again. I got all kinds of, from when they CNC this stuff, it just puts plastic and aluminum dust everywhere. So let's get rid of that so the cats don't get into it. Because cats rule the world. All right, and as they say at the bottom of this page here, we were just talking about the measurements here. They say the very last sentence, they can be close to 82 millimeters, but it's important that they are the same. So that's good. That's what we did. We made sure that they are the same. All right, so let's go on to the next step, page 18 of 57. And oh my goodness gracious, look at this. We're getting into some serious stuff now. Looks like I'm going to have to add some more room to the desk here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the 4 FM1s. I'm going to go ahead and collect those pieces. And that's where this thing starts to look like a real printer. And I'm going to move some camera and some other stuff around here while you're stuck looking at the instructions because I need to find some space. All right, I got 2 laptops on this desk and a 24-inch monitor, so I gotta figure this out. And then I need 2 more beams. All right, so let me go ahead and give you back my view here. Actually, I'm gonna move the camera further back so you can see better. Hopefully the focus will play nice. If you're just joining, welcome, hello, how are you? My name is Paul, this is my channel where nerdy is cool. We're putting together an FT-i3. This is a FolgerTech printer. And I'm trying to make room on the desk without knocking too much stuff over to get this just right. All right, so the laptop's gonna have to like be dangling off the edge of the desk. Tempting fate. Well, what's new? All this stuff lives down here with the pets and survives. All right. All right. Actually, would it be better if I did the this view over here? Okay. How's that? That better? You guys let me know. All right. So somewhere here, I have to find a spot for all these tools. All right. So essentially, from what I can gather, this is going to go here like this. We're going to try to square everything up. And let's see. Dun, dun, dun. And all right, 3 and 2. All right, let me look at the instructions again here because there's something. So the 2 beams we assembled in the last steps in the left and front place, the 30-30 beam against the front and rear. This side should be inside the front and rear beams as shown. On a flat surface, make sure the points are jetted and assembled using FM1, FM5, rear 4, yeah. So I think I got, yeah, I had that guy wrong. All right, well, here's the fun part, making everything nice and square. Well, let's go one side at a time. You look real good right there. All right, let's get a bunch of these guys out. All right, so 2, 4. All right. So we'll work on getting everything square kind of as we go. All right. trying to be smart and lay out all the parts I need ahead of time. Okay. All right. Very good. Let's go 2 at a time here. And in case you're wondering how many turns I'm giving this, I'm just giving this maybe 2 or 3 turns so that it's enough to hold that T-nut on. If you go too much, then when you're trying to get these guys in, you wind up having to back off the screw sometimes, and then you can hear that jingle of the T-nut falling off. Experienced that quite a bit with my FT-i3. Alright, we're going to try to get these guys to be lined up appropriately here. Alright, now, extra piece comes in handy. Alright. Dead silence. Caleb, you mentioned a good point. I think what I could do, I don't have one, would be to get like a a square, the L piece. What I'm doing right now is, and I'll show you with the extra camera here. Actually, I think I got enough cable where you can see here. So what I've done is I've made sure that this is very flush. And everything looks pretty good so far. But yeah, I think once I get these guys further along, that's a very valid question. How do we go about making sure that these guys are all squared up? And what's interesting about doing these from the top, I'm used with the FT-i3, but we did them on the outside, so that if you did have to adjust them, you had access to them. I'm not sure how much access I'll have to these on this design. All right, and actually I'm going to move this over here, because what we'll do is we'll do this other guy here. And just to make sure everything is good and lined up, let's get you here. Okay, everything looks good. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's important for the print quality and just for the build in general to make sure that everything is square. It's easy to rush through this and just bolt everything together and hope for the best. But as I learned with my FT-i3 when I was having some issues, when we went back and used that L-shaped, I don't know what they call it there, triangle maybe? I don't know. Drawing a blank at the moment. But when we went back, we noticed a few areas that, yeah, this isn't quite snug. I think it's called a square. I was at Lowe's the other day, and it was one of those things that it's just, when I walked back to the car, I was like, I didn't mean to pick one of those up, but I don't want to walk back in. All right, I'm double checking to make sure I have everything set up properly. Let's get you guys in the right general direction to make placing it a little easier. All right, now Okay. First two are in. That looks really good. Okay. Oh, my phone just beeped. Let's see. All right. So I think the easiest thing to do is to flip this around. Yeah. I think that'll be the best way to do this. Rather than me bent over the camera here. So let me move this. Let's clean the table off again so there's nothing in the way. I've never done any kind of framework with building like that. That's way beyond my pay grade. I'm an IT guy. I just put out the fires when people say, I'm about ready to throw this computer out the window. And I say, well, you can do that, but I prefer you don't. Actually, that was more of my old life. Now I work at a university and I'm the admin of the online learning system. So I'm not dealing with the break fix, oh, my printer's jammed, or my laptop's overheating, or the battery's not staying. I'm kind of out of that world now. Now I get to spend my days in meetings, and it's a different level. It's fun, but there are days I kind of miss running around all the various areas of the hospital I worked at, saving the day. All right, now I'm trying to remember. I'm doing this in reverse, so I got to do it a certain way. All right, so dun dun dun. Okay, let's make sure. Okay. So I'm just using, the pieces that are with the printer to help keep this all flush while I do it. How square it all is, we'll have to double check that later. All right, I'm hoping I got that right. Okay, and then the last one. What do you do for work now, Caleb? Dun, dun, dun. That's a good point, yeah. Yeah, diagonals. Of course, these guys, the way they're set up, they cover the corner, so it's a little tough to get in to the, well, if you wanted to measure the inner corners, that's a little tougher, but you're right. From outside to outside should square up. If you're just tuning in, we're building a FolgerTech FT-i3 Mega, which is basically, you know, it's an i3. It looks just like a CR10, a TiVo Tornado, whatever you may be familiar with. We're going to call it a wrap here in a few minutes. There we go. Where's my corner? So what I'm doing right now is chatting with you guys, and I'm trying to make sure that everything is good and square. What I'm doing is I'm tightening up two at a time here. And pilot, what do you fly? My buddy is a retired Air Force pilot. He's the one that just messaged me a second ago, dying to play DCS tonight. I was in the Air Force 7 years. I was in aircraft maintenance back when there was a 702. Basically an IT guy entering in all that data on our KC-135s that we have here in Bangor. All right, I'm just going around here, torquing these guys down a little bit. What model of the KC-135? E model, or I know yes, when you guys were passing through, we had a hell of a party. We made it a big point to make sure that all the troop flights passing through knew what they were loved. That's one of the big things that this town takes pride in. Is even now, and we know they alert us when there are any troop flights coming through, and it's not surprising to have several hundred people over there in the band, you know, greeting these guys when they get off the plane. We are very proud of that. Yeah, Bangor, we have a, well, I mean, I fly Cessnas now, but I always wanted to fly military, but by the time I had my act together, I was beyond that magical 26 years old, and then even more so for the Guard, past 29, they're like, nah, you're too old. So it's like I tell my friends, if I want to fly one of those shiny jet fighters, I have to win Powerball to do it. All right, so we have a frame. Gives you an idea of the size this printer is going to be. Well, I know over here they recently changed them over to the turbo fans. And as someone that is less than a mile from the localizer, I certainly appreciate having the turbo fans flying over me versus the jet. All right, let me just take a look at one more thing here. Let's see what the next step was. You know what? Yeah, this is a good stopping point right here, because this is when we're starting to get into the putting in the whole gantry here. So this might be a good pause point, because then what I can do is I can come back to this after Thanksgiving, tomorrow afternoon, and do some more building. The other thing I could probably do here, and you made a really good point, Caleb. Where'd my mouse go here? Let me go back to the Canon. Wouldn't be a bad opportunity just to, I got a tape measure here somewhere to go through and just, you know, measure diagonally. I should probably look up, you know, how to make sure everything's square, because I'm assuming you're talking about diagonally measure each end over here and make sure they're the same. Have a good night. Take care, Caleb. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let me find out a nice place to park this because it's huge. Okay. And pick up my tools a little bit here because the cats like to get up here. All right, got my water bottle, all my camera stuff. All right, so opposite corner distance. Okay, good. I'll check that out. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, if you have been watching this from start to finish, thanks. We're not quite finished. We've just done the first 18 steps out of 57. It's gone pretty well. There's a few little gotchas here. I didn't quite have all the hardware I needed, or I thought I needed. There was a call for some 18mm screws that I didn't have enough of. They included 6. Apparently this kit needs a bunch more than that, but the 20mm that were included work just fine. So what I'm going to do is, the plan is we are going to pick up where we left off tomorrow afternoon at some point. I'm spending Thanksgiving obviously with my family, like you guys probably are. My goal, I guess, would be to get back into this probably tomorrow evening. I would ballpark it around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or maybe it's EDT now because we have daylight savings. I don't know. 6 p.m. is my ballpark. Go ahead and check my Facebook, and what I'll do is I'll post there when we'll be doing the live stream. And the plan is we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to see if we can, I don't know what it's going to take to get this thing up, wired up, and printing, but hey, you know what? It'll be a fun journey. So that said, hey JP, how you doing? Happy T-Day. Thanks for watching. We're going to pick up where we left off and do this again tomorrow night. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope the microphones have worked a whole lot better, the video quality. Don't adjust your set. That's my No Shave November driving me crazy. So that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber already, please make sure you become a subscriber. If you want to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/where nerdy is cool. And as I mentioned earlier, and actually I'm going to cut and paste it one more time here before I go, my 3D printing forum website. If you are into 3D printing and like this sort of thing, definitely check my forum out. There's a pile of people in there. We'd love to get some new people in. Check it out. You might have some fun. So thanks for watching. We'll pick up where we left off, and let's see if we can get this printer built and a little bit further along tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.